Hello there, I'm Teresa Norton, and welcome to The View from Abroad, a podcast that each week takes a look back at one of the columns I wrote for a Hong Kong newspaper between 1993 and 2000. And looking back, 3 decades, some of the opinions I expressed feel a little out of step with the world today or my current perspective, as sometimes it's both. And some of them feel very right on, like right on target. So this week, my guest is Dr. Theresa Robbins Dudeck. She is an assistant professor of theater at Portland State University. She's a Fulbright Scholar and an expert in improvisational theater. She trained with and worked alongside Keith Johnstone, who I felt very honored to have an opportunity to work with in my life. He was, one of the real gurus. And she wrote the critically acclaimed biography on this impro pioneer and has taught impro and applied improvisation around the world. So we're going to get a chance to talk to Teresa shortly. But as we do, as I say every week, we're going to start with the column that she chose. I always send my guests a couple to choose from, and this is the one she picked. It appeared in the South China Morning Post in about 1995.
Love springs maternal. I don't know, maybe I'm nuts, or maybe it was just weeping my way through the Joy Luck Club with my husband yesterday afternoon, but I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about my own mother and her mortality, and I got myself really upset. Some of my friends have already lost one or both of their parents, and I guess it's just another part of growing up and growing older, but at 3 o'clock in the morning I started thinking, how on earth will I be able to write this column the first week after my mother leaves me? Did you catch that? Not leaves us, my dad, my brother, my aunties, leaves me. I began a mental laundry list of the things that would float around in my head whenever I remembered her, and I decided, I hope this isn't too morbid, to write that column today, now, while I can still bear to do it. This is going to be very stream of consciousness and very personal, but I know that there will be at least one picture of your own mother somewhere in all the still lifes of mine. Riding in the shopping cart while she scanned shelves of the supermarket for tuna fish, Roman meal bread, angel food cake mix, and frozen orange juice bars. Watching her as she pushed the caravan of comestibles up and down the aisles while whistling just in time through the shopping list and coupons she absent-mindedly held to her lips. It had a wonderful sort of kazoo effect. Lying in my bed every October 30th until I was about 11 and hearing the motor of her Singer sewing machine speed through seams and slow down on pleats and darts as she turned 3 yards of fabric into everything from a variation on the basic princess theme to a Christmas tree, complete with tinsel and candy cane decorations. She usually began production on my Halloween costume in the evening and frantically finished up before the next morning. I also remember being about 10 and an altercation that resulted in an alteration that meant my navel would not be featuring in the I Dream of Jeannie costume. Watching Jack LaLanne, the 1960s answer to the Jane Fonda workout, on television with her while she did sit-ups and leg lifts, and I sort of flapped around when I tired of popping Barbie's head off to change her from beachwear to ball gowns. Being absolutely terrified. The night she smashed her finger while trying to close a particularly stubborn bedroom window. I was reading a book from the school library called Rutabaga Tales. I never picked up that book again. The way she looked when she'd just had her hair done at Grace's. The sight of her in that fabulous floor-length hostess dress with the big flower earrings, holding a dinner table full of people rapt while she told a good joke. The scary, confusing day when a neighbor lady picked me up from school and told me that my mom's mother had passed away and that my mom was upset, so I'd be playing over at her house that afternoon. And the look on my mom's face when I got home. Watching her as she sat on the edge of my bed, reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and knowing how much she was enjoying it too. Saying my prayers with her at night and having asked God to bless the president and guide him, her telling me, "There is nothing you could do that would make Daddy and me stop loving you." And the strange and awful way that concept made me bitter and sullen and nasty when I became a teenager, subconsciously testing that promise in all the worrying ways that only little girls turning into little women can. What is this weird thing between mothers and daughters, and why does it frighten me so when I look at my own little girl? Is it that she sees me as perfect now, and I know that she will hate me for a while when she figures out the truth? My friend, whose children are all grown, told me that her mother had always advised her to treat her nicely because she didn't want her to feel guilty after she was gone. How well she knew her daughter. How well she knew all daughters.
Teresa, how nice it is to have you here with me.
Hi, it's so great to see you.
I know. I think the last time we saw each other, we were in a vegetarian restaurant in Wan Chai, Hong Kong.
Oh my goodness, that was such an incredible meal, and your son was there, and I think we ordered everything on the menu. It was
That's
so
always
good.
The best choice. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you for coming along and also for choosing this column, which I have to say is a little emotional for me to listen to. It's 11 years since my mom died, and the fact is she left us before then because she had Alzheimer's, and I just feel so glad that I wrote down those memories when I did, because I think sometimes what can happen is that when really hard, dreadful things start to unfold, they can sort of wash over all those happy memories. And I'm so glad I can pull that out and just take myself right back to happy times.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well,
I think I may cry a couple.
Yeah, I think we both might a little bit. That's okay. Not every one of these, podcast sessions are going to be hilarious. Some of them are, because the columns weren't that way.
Yeah.
I mean, this was one of those things that I read it now, and if all I had were the memories of her last few years, that would be real hard.
Yeah.
So, well, you're responding to this because I know that you and your mother are very close, and
yes,
I'll let you share your own stuff.
Yes, it seems our moms had things in common in terms of my mom is a singer, dancer, artist, sewed. You mentioned the singer sewing machine. And the costumes.
Oh, the Halloween costumes. Holy smokes. And the battle over that I Dream of Jeannie. That's it.
I love that.
I think back on it and I think of my coming of age years. What did my mother and I fight about? We fought about me getting into a bra, me getting out of a bra. The length of my skirts, the amount of Max Factor that I was slapping onto this mug of mine.
Yeah.
Those are the things we fought about. So when I had a daughter, I made an active decision that those were not the battles I was going to fight with her. It was not going to be about what she wore. Although there were times, of course, you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's times where you're like, I sound just like my mother.
Oh, I do. And more horrifying, my kids sound like my mother because it goes down. Well, it's not horrifying, actually. It's delightful.
It
delightful. Makes me very happy to hear my son say something that my mother would have said. It's like, so, okay.
You obviously had a great mother, good role model, who, I love that you said you popped your Barbies' heads off, too.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, Teresa, because it comes up in a number of columns, and in one of these podcasts, it comes up, but there's no reference to why I'm ripping the head off my Barbie.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was that it facilitated fast costume changes, because that's what that gal was made for. I mean, there's a column about that, you'll
Absolutely.
hear at one point that's like her moving parts were neatly stacked and they were meant to just be put in and out of fabulous clothes. And getting her head off her shoulders was, the quickest way to do that. So, there was the Barbie thing. The other thing, I know that you're a theater pro, a singer, dancer, just a chip off your mother's old block.
Yep.
That just in time. Just in time, you found me just in time. Yeah. Towards the end with my mom, her hands were very, very in little tight little knots. And I would go back to see her and I'd massage her hands. And my dear friend Geraldine was with me. She adored my parents. She loved them very much. And I was massaging Mom's hands and I started singing some of those old songs.
Oh.
And she hadn't spoken for years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she looked at me and she saw me and she started singing with me.
Oh.
And it was like a miracle, Teresa.
It's beautiful.
It was like a miracle. And my friend Geraldine, because one of the songs that I sang with my mom was another one that she used to love called, and it's from Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
You are my lucky stone.
Oh,
right?
Beautiful.
And Geraldine gave me this little glass star after my mom died. And she said, you were always.
Oh, okay. Here come the tears. Where's my Kleenex?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Over to you. I'm going to stop talking for a minute here.
No, that's lovely. And the story absolutely brought up stuff. My mom is very present. She has dementia and short-term memory loss. And so that's taken away. I mean, it's interesting. I've learned a lot. Her sister had Alzheimer's. My brother has frontotemporal dementia right now, and he's very young. And my grandpa had Alzheimer's, so it kind of runs in my family. With my mom, who was a dancer, I have her paintings in my office here and at home. She sewed our clothes. We had matching outfits when I was a little girl, and we would perform together.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, I mean, that's basically
like a Hollywood thing, right?
I know. And growing up in San Diego, she was part of the San Diego dance company, modern dance company, and when she started that modern dancing, I was in her belly. So I came out, there was no way I was going to escape this world of performance. And my sister and I are fiercely protective of my mother. And my dad and mom are both musicians and have been, and still now, the power of music, you bringing that up about your mom and Just in Time. That's the thing. My dad still plays the piano. She still sings all of those songs that they used to sing when they were in big bands together. And my aunt, Madeline, too, when she was pretty much gone with Alzheimer's, couldn't even recognize her own son, could still sing harmony with her son when he would play the guitar. So the power of music.
I think this is an important thing for people to hear because there are so many people who have loved ones who are going through this and are struggling to find something that can connect. And music is magical with this. Yeah. Absolutely important. I was just going to say the last thing just on this, and then we'll take a little break because I want to talk with you about some of the great writing that you've done. But there is this lovely ritual that I was able to, she gifted to me. And although the prayers weren't included, that telling my kids every night that there was nothing that they could do that would make their dad and me stop loving them.
That I put a big heart next to that quote. That moved me a lot, and I feel like I have that same relationship with my mom and my dad, and they've been I mean, this is why I'm in the theater still, because they never told me I had to do something else. They always supported that taking me to dance classes and theater classes and singing classes and piano and they're both musicians. I mean, how could they tell me something else? Right?
Well, but
Yeah.
I think sometimes it does happen the other way around, that
Yeah,
somebody says,
true.
oh, well, I learned these hard lessons and I'm not going to let my kids follow. It's a rough life. They should get a degree and be an accountant. And how lovely that your parents
Yeah.
just said, this kid has got the bug and also just such incredible talent. So, hey, let's take a little break.
Okay.
And
All right.
then I want to talk about some of your writing.
All right.
And we are back with Dr. Theresa Robbins Dudeck, and she is not only an impro genius and teacher worldwide, but
you.
she is also the co-editor of 2 important books on applied improvisation. In other words, taking the skills of improvisational theater and applying them outside of the theater. And I was very kindly invited to contribute a chapter to a book called Applied Improvisation, Leading, Collaborating, and Creating Beyond the Theater, which was curated and edited by Teresa and Caitlin McClure. But there's a new book. Talk to us about the mindset book.
The Applied Improvisation Mindset came out during COVID, and we were editing and putting it together. So that idea of having a mindset as an improviser, it's as much about the practice as the daily, how you live your daily life, and how you deal with curveballs and uncertainty and all of those things. So that is a clear through line in all of the chapters because of the moment we were in when we were editing that book. And it came out in, I can't remember, 2022? Is that the date?
Sounds about right. Listen, just to clarify for some people who might not be as familiar with improv as others, it depends on where in the world you've lived and what you've been exposed to in terms of maybe television or impro in clubs or things like that. It is basically just unscripted storytelling or performance, right? That is the key to it. But you have to have a degree of this mindset thing comes in because you have to have a degree of flexibility because you don't know what your improv performing partners might say or do that you need to contribute to or build off of.
Absolutely.
Is that accurate?
Yes. And it's not just about willy-nilly, let's do this. There are a set of tenets and theories that underpin our work. Things like building on others' offers, taking care of your partners, having a growth mindset, believing that people can change, wanting to be a part of a process with other people, collaborative storytelling, all of that. Hearing Keith Johnstone's voice in my head, all the time.
Failing cheerfully.
Yeah. Screw up and stay happy.
Yeah, don't be a bummer, dude.
Yes. But most importantly, be altered, be changed by what your partners give you, be willing to be vulnerable. I mean, all of those things, if you are truly invested in the improvisation mindset and this practice that you and I both hold dear, it is deeper than just let's have fun and tell a joke and let's get the laugh at all costs. That's not it at all. And this is why these tools have now been applied in so many profound ways. Here at Portland State University, I'm doing a lot of applied improvisation over in speech and hearing and applied linguistics, and with the grad school in administration, helping people during COVID. I actually did a lot of applied improvisation for creating an engaged classroom on Zoom. how do you do that? How do you get people out of their chairs in this moment that was so hard for so many people? People would like drag themselves to the Zoom room and then find that buoyancy, find that resiliency. So that's how it's being used now, and in theatrical processes too. But I like to do all of it.
Yeah, I know, and you do it all so well. And the books are just such a wonderful gift to people that are not experts in this. It's a real great how-to with explanations of how people used it, exercises that you can take and you can apply in different. And also, am I correct in thinking that it was similar with the second book, that there are some that are related to medical and some to science and some to innovation and some to so they cover a wide spectrum.
Yes, we have exactly. I think, hold on, I'm looking back at the book. It's tools for transforming organizations and communities. So we divvied up the sections a little differently, but it's the same idea. And at the end of each chapter, there's a workbook, a way you can use these tools in your own. Yeah. So it's
it's pretty groovy.
Yeah. It's groovy.
It's groovy and good on you and Caitlin for getting that ball rolling. So the applied improvisation mindset, tools for transforming organizations and communities, and the quick fix in terms of us getting a website up here is to give you Teresa's website. It's www. all one word now, theimprofessor.com. So I'm going to spell that for you just so we get it right. THE, the no space, impro, IMPROFESSOR.com. Check it out. Okay, Teresa. What word or idea, and I can go / ideas from that column, unlocked a memory or a series of memories from you?
I had so many unlockings. The Singer sewing machine for me. I remembered not only the matching outfits my mom would make when I was a little girl, but my senior prom, the dress I told her I wanted that was ridiculously hard, and she created her own pattern. It had a really tight waist with a skirt that came up in the front and it flowed in the back. It had these sleeves and I still have that dress because there's no way I can ever give it away. No. I would never fit in it again, but it just showed she was incredible as a seamstress. And it's something that dementia has taken away. Dementia has also taken away her ability to read music and play the piano. She can play things by heart still, but she can't read music anymore. So there's things like that I am reminded of. And
can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Is she aware of what she's not able to do?
She is, and we're so lucky that she's very happy and present and still knows us. And she, her dancer body at 83, she goes to exercise classes every day. And so she's still very joyful and almost like a reset. She resets every day.
Right.
Which is a blessing in disguise, especially in this political moment, because, as you know, there's a lot going on.
Well, with my mom, the hardest thing was when she realized that something was wrong. Because she felt that her role was to take care of my dad, who had macular degeneration. He had all of his marbles, some of yours, all of mine. He was sharp as a pin up to the time he'd passed at 100. But for my mom, it was this horrible thing of, going in the kitchen and realizing she couldn't. This was the woman who wrote the recipe column and hosted the dinners and didn't know. Yeah. So that was the hardest part. But the good news was this too shall pass, right?
Yes.
And that was a transitory part of that journey. And then she was just like an improviser. She was in the moment.
I think that's where my mom is now, because right around COVID, it started shifting, and we noticed that things, and we also, the way we approached her as improvisers, if she repeated something we didn't say, Mom, you already said that. We stopped. We all had a conversation with our family and said, we can't do that anymore because she can't help it. And she's so much happier now. And it's lovely. I can play games with her, improvisation games. And
that's wonderful. I'm so glad you said that.
Yes.
We need to repeat that.
Yes.
If you're listening and you have somebody in your life who is losing their memory, it is absolutely unhelpful to say, Dad, you've already said that 6 times. What does that accomplish? Nothing. Nothing.
Stress. And that just exacerbates the dementia.
Of course. And the embarrassment.
Right.
Is that well, anyway, we won't go you get the point. Don't do that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that you're really digging in and leaning into this opportunity to get those stories and allow her the privilege of remembering.
Absolutely. Yeah. My sister too. And she is good at telling stories. She's written down, she writes poetry, and she's one of those Renaissance women has always, I mean, like I said, her art and her abstracts are hanging in our homes. And so she's all around us. And I think we had to come to a point, when she stopped going up to her art room every day and say, that's okay. What is bringing her joy right now? She has produced so much in her life that it's okay that she's present and she's with us and she knows us and she's happy and she's exercising, whatever brings Mom joy right now, that, and we all are okay with that. But it was a little painful at first. She's not singing anymore. She's not playing piano anymore. She's not in her art room anymore. And
were you worried that she was depressed because of that? Or was it just that you kind of see parts of her sort of drifting away?
I think seeing parts of her drifting away. Yeah. But her personality is still there, right? And some people don't get that. And it's like all of the joy of who she is coming out, where my grandpa had full-blown Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
that's what my mom is. Yeah.
And he a lot of his bitterness came out, where that's not coming out with my mom at all.
No, my mom was very, very amenable and, just happy to be there and smiling. But I had an auntie who had Alzheimer's, and it was so hard for her sister, my dad's other sister, to see her getting so cross and angry, right?
Yeah,
it's like you're seeing somebody you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was one other thing you said, lots of things you said in this piece you wrote, but just the beginning of the paragraph, the way she looked and the sight of her. And my mom, when she was singing in my dad's bands in California, they would go off and do band jobs every weekend and leave my brother and I and my little baby sister at that time home. And I'd watch her walk out the most beautiful, Elizabeth Taylor, beautiful,
right.
Black hair. And she had such a sense of style, a lot of things she made, but just, always, I just was in awe of her. And then every now and then I got to go to a gig with them. And if it was a bat mitzvah or something like that, where there was families, I could sit there and watch her sing on stage with my dad behind the keyboard. And that, I think, why I am my mother's daughter, because I watched her perform from the day I was born and performed with her and watched her on stage, and that just beautiful inside and out. And so that really touched me. the floor-length hostess dress your mom wore with the big flower earrings. I just love that.
I did too. I loved remembering it.
Yeah. Oh, look at us.
Gosh.
Where's my Kleenex?
It's probably good that it's not a look at us kind of show, because it's Max Factor all down the cheeks now.
Oh my
right?
goodness. Absolutely.
Well, listen, my darling, thank you so much for spending this time and taking this emotional little reflective journey down memory lane. And I think if there's something to be taken away from it for anybody who still has their mother with them is ask questions, be interested, try and stay present.
Yeah.
Right? Anything you want to add to that?
Say, like what you said, say I love you as much as possible. Laughter for making my mom laugh. And here, that is, to me, as long as she's laughing and we can play games together and be present, that is the most important thing, instead of focusing on what's
you
been
can't
lost,
do.
what you still have right now,
and sing.
And
if
sing.
you can sing.
Music connects us, and it embeds itself in a different place. It's still accessible.
Well, it is just in time to say au revoir, and thank you again for joining us. Oh, yes. And everybody who's with us today, will want to say thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Remember to breathe all the time, come up slowly. And as my dear friend Geraldine used to say to me when things were looking a little dicey, hey, what if it's good?